Girl. Oh, child. Hi, guys. I don't know if anybody up outside. Anybody outside? Anybody else outside? No, I'm just kidding. I just want to hop on here real quick because it's slow at the moment. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Okay. Nice. Give it a little bit of lighting. Oh, relit. Okay. It's still kind of dark. Looking. Let me see. Sorry. Excuse me. Hey, sorry that it's kind of fuzzy because I'm in the car and it ain't lit up in here or nothing, but it's all right. I just wanted to hop on here because I said I was. Keep the promise to myself. Oh, this thing hurt my head, y'all. It's nice. What in the Jabberwocky? No, just kidding. Hey, what y'all doing? This is why I wanted to hop on here because this is what popped in my damn head. Ooh. Something earlier happened. Let me see. Wait. Let me get this straight. Hold on. First of all, man, you be dragging. This coffee is so good. Here we go. It was like this. Something I came across was talking about cycles. When you... No, wait, let me just be honest. This is what I was hearing first. I was hearing this double dipping. Like double dipping. Then I was hearing this saying, this girl, she'd be like, you got too much dip on your chip. I was hearing them words, double dipping and too much dip on your chip. Who need to hear that? No, that's funny. Ouch. Double dipping and too much dip on your chip. Who out there double dipping and got too much dip on their chip? I don't know why I was hearing that. Anyway, what came to mind is about how people, you know how they be like, people come into your life, you meet them for, I don't know the exact saying, but they be like a reason, season, lifetime, season, reason, I don't know. And so when I started hearing double dipping and too much dip on your chip, somebody got too much dip on their chip, this is what came to mind. It came to mind, something I heard, I don't know when I came across that, but it was something about how like sometimes, you know how people be going back to their exes a lot? You go back to your exes, you leave them and y'all take a nice break because something dumb was done. Not that it was unforgivable, because you can forgive anything, but you just ain't supposed to forget. Hey, but it's like when you got an ex and do something stupid, unless they evolve up out of that toxicity, you really shouldn't be going back. And so then when I was hearing these random words about double dipping and having too much dip on your chip, that's what I think it got to do with. Because a lot of times when you ended with somebody in the past and they did something that's kind of just totally just whatever, it's bogus, right? They do something bogus to you, but then time go by, you take a break and then you slide back up in there. I'm hearing that's double dipping. You got too much dip on your chip. Because technically, a lot of times you're supposed to close the cycle. Because them be them people that just be in your life for a season. They just be in your life for a season. But sometimes when you got unhealthy attachment styles or some form of codependency or some self-worth issue that make you think you need to be double dipping it, and then meanwhile giving you too much dip on your chip, you don't close the cycle. So you open the cycle, you mess around with that person again, smash that person, hypothetical. I'm just making up examples. Spending time with knowing it ain't the one, double dipping, too much dip on your chip. But then God got a funny way of working. He'll let the right person come into your view, come into your reality. But meanwhile, because you didn't take heed and you didn't get the lesson, the nugget of wisdom that you were supposed to get from being with that person back there in the past, that person in that cycle, it ended for whatever reason, but and that meant that it was a seasoned person. You're supposed to close that cycle down. The fact that you double dipped and now you got too much dip on your chip, gotta let your actual high level divine counterpart, your kingdom spouse, to come through. But now that you done double dipped and you got too much dip on your chip, that past person, since you didn't close that cycle, that person gonna act a pure ass, and they gonna interfere with your high level soulmate, potentially your divine counterpart, your high level soulmate, your kingdom spouse, kingdom person. And so I just was thinking about it, like, damn, because that do be happening to people, and it's a shame, because I think a lot of times, you don't be knowing that it's gonna play out like that, but that's why often God give you, you got the choice. He give you a choice. He give you the ability to make a decision, free will, right? And it's about that you learn a lesson. Sometimes you got to know a person. That's why that discernment is a major gift to have. And you have an intuition. and have discernment. And then something else somebody had brought up that was actually really important. So when it comes to following your intuition, it's hard to follow your intuition, that gut feeling that you might be having, unless you've done the introspection and reflection and the healing and unlearning toxic ways and toxic perspectives and all of that. If you haven't did proper inner work, your intuition is actually off kilter. Because the gut feelings that you be having, it be feeling like a legit gut feeling, but then no, it be enshrouded in fear. It be enshrouded. It don't even be like a divine gut intuition. It be a jaded, wounded, skewed gut intuition. So it's hard to follow that. And that's why the inner work is so important. And because I was thinking about how oftentimes it is thrown out there, like follow your intuition, trust it, and your intuition is where the divine live at. Well, yeah, that's true. But depending on how much trauma, how much you done been through back there in the past, if you haven't had a chance to reconcile that stuff in your mind, your intuition, your gut feelings still be kind of intermixed with like faulty truths and jaded perspectives and shit. And it just can get all crazy. So your discernment be off. You be thinking you be following your gut, like, no, I'm following my first gut. But your first gut still be some fear-based perspective. You know how they say, follow love, not fear, or whatever. You know them little sayings like that. But I was thinking about that. But it's important, like, man, sometimes when stuff ends for a reason, and you be having them divine why points you be coming to, like, do I go back or not? You have to really be able to sit with yourself and be sure you're making a decision that's actually for your highest good. Because more than likely, if it's a seasoned person, but your intuition ain't even strong enough for you to really even recognize it, damn, the moment you go back and double dip and get too much dip on your chip, then here come your divine counterpart, damn. And then meanwhile, that past person gonna be acting a plum retard, doing everything they can, whether it's physically, psychologically, emotionally, trying to manipulate you and confuse you, where you don't know which one is the divine counterpart. Emotional manipulation. And then damn near your soul, your actual person pass you up, because now you got this person acting a fool and doing random drive-bys at the house, and you spending time with the new person, the actual person, the right one, and you got this fool acting a fool because they was feeling led on, or no, they be knowing, because a lot of times them Jezebel people be knowing that they ain't the one, but they'll do everything they can to confuse you. What do you want, sir? I think he wants some screen time. Damn, he just like a baby. He got too much dip on his chip. You got too much dip on your chip, baby. Let me talk to somebody. Let me just air this out my head before I get a headache. But I sure was thinking about that, like, oh man, that's crazy how that can play out like that. And that's why you gotta just be careful. You gotta take your time and be sure you ain't being tricked. As far as I'm concerned, that's what black magic is. People who can can confuse, gaslight your mind. Like you don't even be knowing what be going on. You be thinking you be knowing, and then don't get no advice from somebody who screwed up on top of that. They'll lead you down the wrong path and have you double dipping and be getting too much dip on your chip and be convincing you that actually you're supposed to be doubling back to that person, knowing that your high level soulmate is in your presence. And you know what I mean? So you just got to be careful, and you got to heal enough and do enough inner work so that your gut feeling is on. It ain't gonna always be perfect, but god darn it. Because of course, even if you follow your intuition and you are healed, a lot of times, sometimes you can still go through something, because it's like, we all down here to go through lessons and to unlearn patterns of being and thinking that sometimes you inherit through your bloodline, traditional thought patterns that might be outdated. You be inheriting those type of ideas and perspectives, and then let alone just your personal life experiences that you go through. Maybe you don't do the inner work and reconcile that stuff in your head. Discernment be skewed as a big dog. But I said that's sad though when that can happen to somebody, because you can get tricked out of your spot. Damn. I mean, of course they say, well, what's for you will never pass you by. I think it's what some saying, this and that can be true. Because it can pass you. It can a little bit. What'll happen is it ain't going to pass you by, but you can miss it. Because it's going to come. It's going to come. If it's meant for you, it's going to come into your reality. But if you double dipping and got too much dip on your chip, and you going backsliding and messing around with one of them seasoned people, and your divine counterpart, your high level soulmate, your kingdom spouse come in your view, now here you go. Here you got this crazy person back there in the background that's finna do everything they can to blow that situation up. And I think that be happening to a lot of people. I don't know why that was put on my heart to talk about. But that's why it's important to be mindful. And you got to be alone with your thoughts and make decisions from your own heart. So you can't blame nobody, because you really can't even blame nobody. If you're somebody who always seeking external advice all the time and you can't think for yourself, at the end of the day, you still the person making that decision. So it ain't nobody, you can't blame nobody but you. But that's why that inner work is important, man, because you be skewed. And I think that's sick, because I think a lot of times that's what darkness be wanting. It don't be wanting divine counterparts and high-level soulmates and kingdom spouses. It don't be wanting them couples to come together and be a powerful force down here on the earth, on this earth, and to be able to walk on this earth in real time and be a living embodiment of what, like, true unconditional divine, like divine relationships, healthy love. That darkness, whatever darkness that permeates this earth, don't be wanting that to be manifested. And so here you got Jezebels or whatever other things that can throw you off, or your discernment be skewed, or you just be somebody who's so far in your carnal nature and so disconnected from the spiritual side of yourself, you almost you fall into temptation, and then you just you get tricked out of your spot. Damn. So please, I don't know. I don't wish it on nobody. I don't wish that for me, and I don't know all the answers at all. I'm not claiming to, and I'm not even a religious fanatic. I just believe in God, and I just know He put stuff on my heart for reasons, and these be words even for me too. So I just wanted to share it, because I think that's awful when that happened. It's beautiful when you see them power couples come together, because and they be working out. You be knowing that them kingdom spouse, high level soulmate things, where y'all here to create something powerful down here on this earth. It ain't necessarily got to be nothing big in the limelight, but it's just, if nothing else, y'all supposed to be walking around together and just that high power, that high vibrational energy and frequency, just being two people together. I hear this song. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. But the darkness don't want them kind of couples to come together, them forces like that, where you could be a representation of healthy love, and just a blueprint of that, to break some stuff up off the bloodline and all kind of stuff, where them kids coming through won't be jaded and thinking marriage is dumb, or whatever the thing that be going on in a person's personal bloodline. The divorces is all there is. No, them power couples come together in people's families and stuff, it be breaking off stuff. Darkness don't be wanting that to come into fruition. And so that's why it's so important, like, to be able to be discerning and stuff, to know when people are seasoned people. I don't care if you got kids by them. So what? That don't mean you necessarily got to go back to that person. If they toxic, they toxic. And sometimes the only thing that you was supposed to do with that person was have a child. And yeah, you got to be able to think for yourself. You got to really be able to think for yourself, because you'll just damn near get tricked out of your spot. And although I believe like high level soulmates and divine counterparts, they do be evolved enough where they have a forgiving heart, and they do believe in giving people grace. But sometimes if you don't catch up quickly enough, it's like you'll miss your spot. Gotta bring in another high level soulmate for that person, and then it's over. And that's why it's so important. You can't be lagging this shit. Like, nah, do the inner work. Look at introspect. Be some self accountability. That's where it's at. Especially if that's your goal. I mean, you can be powerful alone, yeah, but can you imagine two powerful forces, two conscious people together, and then you have a seed? Man, your baby gonna be so enlightened and just on top of their game. That's what what's her name? Ilani Van Zant. I don't know how to pronounce her name. That's what she was talking about. She was talking about how in this season in her life, she's really embracing the idea of she calls it being a conscious grandparent. And the same go for being a conscious parent. So when like them high level divine counterparts come together like that, damn, then y'all both conscious, that's a powerful force. Darkness don't be wanting that. So that's why it's important to be careful. And you can't just be solely somebody that's ruled by the carnal nature of yourself, and just solely be thinking that your ego personality and your logical analytical mind know what's happening. You can't solely live by that. With no divine guidance coming down through your decision making, no, you'll be slipping up left and right, sticking your stuff in something that you ain't got no business, or opening up for something you ain't got no business. And then the next thing you know, here come your person, your actual person, the person that you used to pray about when you was little, like when you was a little person, like, this is what I hope my person, and they come through, and then here you got all these crazies running around attached to you. And they're gonna mess it up, because ain't no divine person gonna be putting up with that kind of stuff. They just can't. They can't tolerate it. It's only so much. Not that there's only so much grace you can give. You can give somebody grace, but you also sometimes you have to just be discerning and filter it out. Like it's just too much of a. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be too much of a problem. And and you can't make yourself be susceptible to it, even if you feel like, damn, that would have been because there's a billion some people on the earth, and so somebody else will come into your reality that's more aligned with you, at least at your speed or at kind of where you at. You ain't gonna necessarily be like just exactly equal. But I was like, damn, I don't know. It just kind of made me sick to my stomach just to think about that, because I think a lot of people get tricked out of their spot. So please, whoever you are, don't be double dipping, because that means you're gonna be having too much dip on your chip, and then when your person, it could be a it could be a dream or anything. That's what I say. You got too many eggs. You got so many eggs on. Wait, how old people said you got so many eggs in the basket, they start falling off all out the side of the basket. You got too many eggs. You got too many irons on the fire. Too many people you dealing with. That's why I do that inner work, because I do think a habitual cheater, it could be a man or woman, at the core that there's some kind of wound there, a self-worth wound, or some kind of issue to where, in order for you to feel whole and complete, or like you to justify your womanhood or to justify your manhood, it's got something to do with it needing to be seeking it externally. But that's disempowering. And at the core there's some kind of wound, or either you had a blueprint of that in childhood. Some adults around you was like that, and you didn't really recognize it as toxic at the time, so you adopted that behavior. But this unhealthy, because I think all of us down here got a person. I don't care if they're on the other side of the world. We got a person, but it's a matter of getting into alignment. And that's what my dad would always say. You just work on yourself. Keep your focus on yourself, and you'll attract who you think you'll attract a match to what you are, right? And so when I was younger and had them little breakups, he would just say like, hey, don't worry. Because he said, when you thought that person was the one for you, imagine who God really got here for you. Because you thought that was the one. But it turned out to be the one wasn't the one for one reason or another. So now go ahead and just can work on yourself and figure out, well, why did you have to experience that? What you were supposed to learn from that? Whatever little nugget, little gem that was supposed to come out of having that experience with that seasoned person. That person that was only supposed to be in your life for a season, and then you can just move forward and release any resentment or anything that you have about the situation. But you don't want to be lagging around, because when you lag around and be going backwards, you be keeping the cycle. You keep the cycle open that was supposed to be closed, because every ending brings a new beginning. That's how life works. It's a cycle. It's just like typically, like when one thing is removed out of your life, it makes room for something else to come. Well, every blue moon, God got a sense of humor where you will have a cycle still open that was supposed to be closed, and that new thing will start coming on in. And then it's like, now you got a conundrum. You got this problem. And then you get tricked out of your spot, because the cycle wouldn't close, and darkness ain't gonna let that go that easy. It ain't gonna be just no easy civil closing out. That's why it's better to just do it and just call a spade a spade. When it's time, and be able to identify it and recognize it. And be sure, and whatever it is, it's got you clinging and hanging on to something back there. Go within and do the inner work and figure out what that is. Why would you think that all you worthy of is somebody who two-timing on you? Why would you think you need to hang on to that? It's a self-worth issue that need to be healed. Is it coming from an absent father or absent mother? Is it coming from a parent who were present, but they worked so much that you got some kind of abandonment wound, attachment wound that developed, that need to be worked through? I don't know what it could be, but hey, man, you worth everything your heart desire. You worth that. We all are. And ain't nobody gotta be, you ain't really got to settle. And it ain't about you got standards too high. No, it's just about you can be reasonable, because human beings are flawed. And at the end of the day, ain't nobody perfect. Jesus Christ is the only perfect person I knew. Okay, so that means, yeah, human beings can be compromised and be tricked and all of that. But as quickly as possible, you got to figure out a way to recognize it and reconcile it. What was I supposed to get? So that you can be clear, so you won't get tricked out of your spot in any aspect of your life. Because that's shitty. That's so shitty. And I just wanted to hop on here and just talk about that. That just came to my mind. Double dipping. Don't be double dipping and having too much dip on your chip, and then you be missing out on what was really for you. Please don't. It's not worth it. I know, it's hard. It's hard. And that's why they say love is blind. They say go over your mind. But do it be love? Do that really be love? It might be love. It might be. And then love is beautiful, but God damn it, sometimes it be toxic love, and that be also something need to be looked at, because it's like you be thinking, it be feeling familiar, but that's because the blueprint you had as a child was toxic love. So then you be thinking that that's what's normal. And then meanwhile, that the real one comes through and they be looking like that's abnormal, because I don't have no blueprint, no guidance from childhood that I can pull as a reference from people that was around me that where love was healthy like this, love was peaceful like this, love was harmonious like this. You don't got no point of reference. That's why the quicker the better. Look at it. Do the inner work. Please don't get tricked out of your spot, because darkness don't want power couples to come together. God, darkness don't want two conscious people to come together. Not like that. It really don't. Because it means if two conscious parents come together, that means them seeds gonna be conscious. The seeds, the baby gonna be conscious, because it don't have a choice. It's being raised by two conscious, awakened people. That, okay, they're not perfect, but they're not carrying a lot of trauma and unhealed perspectives and skewed points of view. They're not carrying those heavy self-worth issues, all that kind of weird stuff. Those distorted attachment style, them unhealthy attachment styles. You don't be carrying that. So that baby come through, that baby be beautiful, and third eye be open all the way through there, whatever. Can you imagine that? That's beautiful. So I don't know. I just love y'all, and I knew God put that in my head for me too. And so I wanted to share with y'all. I ain't gatekeeping that. I ain't gatekeeping nothing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I say, I want to share as I learn. And sometimes he puts stuff in my mind that he had me chew on for a minute, and he say, but don't be selfish. Don't keep your mouth closed. That's the whole idea of social media. Share as you learn. Share as you learn. That's what being in service is. So I said, okay, God, all right. Because meanwhile, I done turned the darn Lyft app off. Ain't making no $2. But I'm trying to be obedient, And just because I think sometimes people don't be catching that. And then they be sitting there with a lot of regret. And them type of low vibrational thoughts. You ain't supposed to be having no regret and guilt and shame that you feeling that's running all through your head. That could be avoided. It could be avoided. You just can't be double dipping. Don't be having too much dip on your chip. I don't know why I was hearing that. Stop it. Close the cycle. Close it down. And just that's why they say you got to have faith of a mustard seed. Because sometimes I think people be having one foot in, one foot out, because they be having a hard time believing that something new or better could potentially come through. And God will blow your mind. Usually he won't let it, he'll let it come in when you close the cycle. But every now and then, it'll come start swimming on down across your path while you still got one foot on the other door back there. So now what you gonna do? Ghost the person? Hell no. You can try, but it ain't gonna happen that easy. And then there you go. Chaos. So you can save yourself the trouble, the headache, I mean, It's just not worth it. But anyway, I love y'all. And I just had to share, because I said, oh, Lord, I don't want to get tricked out of my spot, and I don't want nobody to get tricked out of their spot. I mean, and if you somebody who be two-timing, go look at yourself. And if you two-timing, don't be leading people on. If you're a person who want to be out here two-timing, don't be meeting up with folks and be trying to act like you ready to be serious with people. You be interfering with a person's ability to make a decision. Right? So if you want to be two-timing, two-timers should hang out with other two-timers. What the hell you doing hanging out with somebody that's down here on a divine mission? And meanwhile, you all screwed up a little bit and just messing around. Just go and get with somebody that's like you. Which typically that's how it do work out. But every now and then they be slick enough to get with somebody who actually is good and on the up and up. And then you break that person's heart, and hopefully they be strong enough to heal and resolve it. Otherwise, you can turn somebody that's actually a good-spirited person, a good-hearted person, you can make them turn bitter and shit. Like, what the fuck? But that'd be darkness right there. So then next thing you know, they jaded and heart all closed, don't trust nobody. But meanwhile, and then they person come in their life. And then they person can't even hardly stomach it, because it's like this person's heart is closed. Damn it. Like, oh, shit. So it just be crazy. It'd be like a whole domino effect. Go on, get somebody like you. If you a snake, go get with a snake. If you a snake, go find your fellow snakes, please. And leave people alone. Okay? I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking from my heart. I care, and that's why I'm sharing it. I know I might be joking a little bit, but no, I just thought that's sick. Because darkness, the darkness that's in the world be trying to trick people in some dark psychology type of way, left and right. It's almost like ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe unless you connected to some divine that can help you clear the cobwebs out your brain and your mind. That's about it. Otherwise, your logical mind ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna do it. Because you can get hoodwinked at any turn. Through your boss, through anything. Oh, Lord have mercy. But life is good. It's fun. It's just a journey. And we down here to learn, so it's all good. So don't take it so personal. Don't be so hard on yourself if you do get tricked. Just pay attention. Pay attention, that's all. Don't spread yourself too thin. And go, and I'm hearing that, and go slow. Go slow. Just go slow. Take your time. What they say, to vet people out and vet stuff out in any circumstance. Take your time. I had to learn that because I'm a person. At the core of who I am, I'm a lover girl, big time. And I don't know if that's the cancer in my birth chart or what, but I'm a lover girl at heart. And that pretty much with people in general. You know, I just love people. I love humanity at the core. Humanitarian. I don't know. That's just the spirit that's up on me. Maybe I got it from my daddy. I don't know. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So when I go in, I can go in and be hard and heavy. And it's just, you know, but it's like, no, even me. Slow the fuck down. And see what's going on. Because people can only wear masks for so long. And then that motherfucker gonna drop off. And then you can see who they really, what's the energy, what's the spirit that's behind the person. And how they be trying to present in life. You know what I mean? Look at this baby. This don't make no sense. You see this? He's sitting here like a real baby, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I love y'all. I hope something I said was something that can put a little something on somebody's mind. Please be careful, be mindful. Just be, oh my God, that's sick that the world be operating like that, but that's just the world we live in. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. That's why it's important to do everything you can so you can be as empowered as you can in terms of your decision making and what you be, and being able to see behind what you're looking at. Don't be just looking at everything for face value and everything that glitters ain't gold. And them sayings be true. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, so you can meet your person. And just pretty much, not even just with dating, just with the sort of decisions you be making, the jobs, whatever you be doing in life, it could be as aligned as possible with what's for your highest good. And it ain't got to be all intermixed with a whole lot of lessons, like Jesus, like a whole lot of lessons, like, oh Lord. But then you got to go back and now you got to go and heal. Now, say at some point you could be getting tired of healing. Although I know that it is toxic to be somebody who's perpetually on some journey. You always feel like you got to heal. And that's the thing about when you become more conscious and awakened, third eye, whatever, you become so self-aware that you can tend to do that. And that's not cool because it can kind of interfere with your ability to just be a human for a while, regardless of your knowing that you are a spiritual being first. It can block it, where it can take some of the fun out of just being down here. This opportunity we got to be down here. So it's just a lot of little stuff. But anyway, I love y'all. I'm gonna try to get out here and go out and make a couple dollars. I might be back, but I did just want to keep the promise to myself. Whether I said anything that even impacted anybody or not, that ain't even the point. This is just something that was on my mind, so I had to get it out my mind for my damn head start hurting. So anyway, Munchkin said bye-bye. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. He said bye-bye. Okay, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Oh yeah, I got an order. Maybe. Okay, bye. See you. Everybody deserves love. Absolutely. Everybody does deserve love. And Marquise, you ought to be ashamed about yourself. We talking about something that's a high vibrational. What you look like talking like that? Who your mama at? Who your mama? Who your mama is? Who your mama is? Love is the answer. We need to calm down and love each other. Absolutely. I think so. I think love conquers all. At the core, that's what we are. That's what they say. Love. We are love. From a divine aspect, who we are from a spiritual aspect. We are love first, and then the moment the world and those worldly ideas and man-made ideas get their hands on our psychology, then there we go. We be getting all hard-hearted and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go. I got an order. I love y'all though, and I just hope something I said resonated with somebody, cause somebody need to hear it. I'm gonna play this back and I'm gonna listen to my darn self. Don't be double dipping. Don't be having too much dip on your chip. Close them cycles down. Okay, bye y'all. I'm gone. I might be back. Okay, bye-bye.